started working on hot rods probably about 10 years ago. I started with a 69 Mach 1. We restored it, and it was a parts matching 2-month car. And we didn't drive it much, so we sold it to a guy from Michigan. And then we got a Dodge Dart Swinger drag car, converted it back to street use. And at that time, I bought this truck for my son. I run a plumbing company. And we paid $600 for it, so he'd have something to drive along with us. About a year ago, he decided to sell it. So at that point, I wanted to take my Dart apart, disassemble it, and paint it. And I sold it to a guy in Florida and bought this from my son. And then we slowly started changing things on it, going old school. We drilled a manifold, made duals out of it, put a 1-barrel to 2-barrel adapter, have a Vega carburetor on it. Handmade a filter for it. Just a fun thing to drive down the road. It gets 20 miles per gallon on an 8-gallon Mooney's fuel cell in the back of it. It's just been something to play around with and have fun. And we use it for our second truck in our plumbing company. So if I need to chase parts, I chase parts in a 55 Dodge. Disassembled the whole thing. The fenders were in terrible shape. They were all bent up from being backed into everything. It was a farm truck. So we straightened them, welded them, patched a couple spots in the front fenders. Then we lowered it by cutting half the springs out of it. They had 6 in the front, 4 in the back. We cut down to 3 springs in all. Took the coil seat out of it because when you hit a bump, you'd pretty hit the ceiling. And I've got 2002 Dodge quad cab seats in it. Makes it a little more comfortable. Other than that, we're slowly working on her one thing at a time. We've got Dakota rear end that's going in it in a couple weeks. Change the gearing. It's got 410 gears. We're going to go 355. Put a modern parking brake and brakes on it that way. I think I'll leave the solid front axle on it, though. I like the gasser look. So, just something to cruise. We take it. We've been to Dubuque 3 or 4 times. Washington, Iowa. We're from Makogata, so we run 30, 40 miles for most shows.